A message from National Bishop Susan Johnson.
Dear friends in Christ, I wanted to speak to you today about some of the challenges that are facing our church. In February of this past year, the officers of the synods and of the national church gathered together for our consultation. They did an environmental scan of our church which revealed the following. First of all, that membership in our church has decreased 23% since merger in 1986. During this same period, in spite of the decrease in membership, giving at the congregational level has continued to increase, keeping up with the rate of inflation. That's good news. Benevolence dollars that are passed on from congregations to synods have basically flatlined over this period and are just now beginning to drop. This means that synods are trying to do the same mission and ministry with fewer dollars, and it's beginning to cause a strain. At the same time, giving that's passed on from synods to the national church has decreased over this period, and when combined with the rate of inflation, it means that the national church has 1/3 of the purchasing power that it had in 1986. The officers were very concerned about these trends and realized they're only going to get worse over the next few years. They passed on their concerns to the National Church Council, and in March, National Church Council established a structural renewal task force. They're charged with coming up with a new administrative structure for our church, which will be affordable, flexible, and sustainable. And at the same time, will equip us to be a church in mission for others. The task force has begun its work, and they're envisioning a very consultative process. They will be bringing presentations to all of the synod conventions this next year and will be looking for conversation and for feedback. They will also be using tools such as online surveys and trying to encourage as many discussion groups across the church as possible, as well as having dialogue and feedback from our many partners. So what can you do to help in this process? Well, first of all, I'd like to ask you to pray for our church and for the task force as it begins its work, that the new structure that might emerge would truly help us to follow God's will and equip us to be a church in mission for others. Secondly, I want to ask you to participate in the process, to listen to presentations, to participate in dialogues, and to participate in things like surveys when you have the chance. We need the feedback from as many people in our church if this process is going to work effectively. Finally, I'd like to ask you to encourage others to participate in the process as well. Get together a group for dialogue. Encourage others to participate in surveys so that the full voice of our church can be heard as we together try and make wise decisions for our future. Thank you so very much for your partnership in mission and ministry, and may God bless you this day.